Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with another fun palette review for you. This is the Disney Lilo and Stitch Ohana eyeshadow palette, and it's from Hot Topic, just like that Beauty and the Beast palette. This one. So I actually, when I saw this one online, I did see this one as well. It's the only other Disney licensed palette that they're carrying right now. They do have some other palettes that's by the brand Black Heart, I believe it is. But this Beauty and the Beast and this Lilo and Stitch palette, these are the only two that currently Hot Topic carries that are actually Disney licensed products. So yeah, I knew that they had it, but the Hot Topic that I went to back when I got the Beauty and the Beast palette, they didn't have any, and if they did, it was buried under like mountains of clothes because those things get so cluttered, it's hard to find your way through those stores. So I was shopping this weekend and I was at a different mall and I happened to just walk into Hot Topic and they actually had it, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up and do a review for you guys. I'm not like the hugest Lilo and Stitch fan. I mean, I think it's adorable. I'm just more of a Disney fan in general. I'm waiting for them to come out with a Little Mermaid or Sleeping Beauty palette because that's more my jam. But I figured this would be fun to review for you guys. And when you look at the colors, it is very beautiful, tropically, and perfect for summer. So yeah, I figured this would be fun to add to my collection regardless. So just to give you a little bit of detail about the palette, like I said, it's called the Disney Lilo and Stitch Ohana eyeshadow palette. It retails for $16.90, but it is on sale currently for 20% off. It seems like Hot Topic pretty much always has their stuff 20 or 30% off, so I mean, 9 times out of 10 you can always get it for a deal. I think I ended up paying $12 for it. So just like the other palette, it does say that it's vegan and cruelty free, so that's nice. I mean, I'm assuming that these are made by the same company, but I never can find a brand name. It just says distributed by Hot Topic. So I don't know, I would love to know who actually makes these. So as I already showed you, this is what the inside of the palette looks like. You've got this cute little bamboo detailing. You don't have very many matte shades. You have pretty much these three kind of dark blue and purpley tones. This brown is matte, and then your dark brown and light whitish color. Those are all your matte colors. Everything else is a shimmer formula. And I will say it's not as good as the Beauty and the Beast palette. You know, when I reviewed the Beauty and the Beast palette from Hot Topic, you know, I did mention that the shimmers were very hard to blend and they worked better with your fingers. So I kind of went into this palette thinking it was going to be the same. I assume it's made by the same company, and maybe it is. Sometimes formulas are different, you know, between palettes. But, you know, I don't know if you can see kind of this like white chunkiness that forms when you try to work with the shadow. I kind of find that sometimes that happens with cheap or like knockoff shadows, so I don't know what that means personally. So if you wanted to use one of these shimmer colors, they really do work best on their own. So what you would want to do would be maybe use a nice light matte transition shade, just work that through the crease, maybe add a little bit of depth on the outer corner, and then just take your finger, go into this color, you know, put it on the lid and leave it alone. You know, I tried a couple of different looks with this palette trying to decide what I wanted to actually film on camera, so I played around with these colors a lot. And I really tried working with these blues and yellows and pinks and greens because that's really what I wanted to do. But, you know, the second I started trying to put something on top of it or next to it or accidentally touch it again, it just like vanished. You know, the color was just gone, and so that was a little disappointing. What I went with today is just more of a subtle light look, you know, so I do think you can do a nice everyday look with this palette. I love this color. It's just a very shimmery peachy brown color. This is predominantly what I used along with these two colors, and I bet you can't even really, if you had to guess what was on my eyes, I bet you wouldn't have even guessed that it was these two, because these two are really bright. I'll even kind of, like, that's how it comes off on my finger. They're very bright colors, but, you know, as soon as you start trying to blend them and use eyeshadow brushes, they just kind of disappear. So I definitely went with a more subtle gradient look, because I figured the yellow, peach, and pink all blended into each other very nicely. But, you know, if you're going to go bolder, like I said, just stick with one color and that be it. The one thing I do love about these palettes that I'm finding at Hot Topic is just the cute packaging. I mean, so this is just really adorable. You know, you've got your little sunset, you know, Lilo and Stitch walking away. It's got these gorgeous flowers on there. It's very tropical themed, you know. I mean, especially right now when you have that Kylie Cosmetics Vacation palette, and then there's the somewhat look-alike or similar cargo palette that's out there. It's very tropical. So I mean, this kind of fits right into what's popular right now. And then also, I just have to show you this. It's got the really adorable Stitch shaped mirror. Again, like with the other palette, it's not a huge mirror, but you can see your eye in it if you had to use this on the go. It's more just there to be cute. And then they do have, let's see if you can see this in this corner right here, the little, they have the little Scrump voodoo doll right there. So I thought that was really cute. All right, so if you want to see how I got this look and how these shadows actually work, then just keep watching. All right, let's get started. So I already primed my eye with my Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden, and I went ahead and just set it with a very neutral eyeshadow, pretty much same color as my skin tone. So now to get into these colors. So I'm gonna start out with a fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go into this top color right here, which is called Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride. And it's kind of just a shimmery, peachy color. Unfortunately, I kind of wish it was more of a matte color, but it works the best up here in the crease. Believe me, I tried out a couple of different looks with this, and you know, with all these colors, the simpler the better. Or bring in another palette that has just some nice matte neutral colors. So that's the start. Then I'm going to take just a more tapered brush, and I'm going to do a mixture of, let's see, this brown color, which is called Bungalow, with that Hawaiian roller coaster. So mostly I just want to deepen the roller coaster color up just a little bit. And I'm just going to be very light-handed because I just, you know, these shadows, they are cheaper shadows. They're very, very powdery, but I also found they're very hard to build up and blend because similar to the issues I had with the Beauty and the Beast palette, the more you try to blend colors together, it's almost like you blend the color away. They just don't layer very well on top of each other. So I'm just trying to be very light-handed just to deepen up that crease a little bit. Then I am going to just very lightly do this outer corner part. I'm actually going to go more just into Bungalow by itself for that and just be very gentle. Because like as you see, it looks like I'm packing down a lot of powder, and then as soon as I start brushing over it, it pretty much goes away. So you don't have to worry about it too much. I am going to take a more tapered blending brush and go into this really dark color up here. This is Ohana. It's kind of like a blackish brown color. I mean, it's more brown, but it's very, very deep. I just want to deepen up that outer V, and I'm really just kind of patting it on here because I know that the second I start really brushing it, it's going to kind of disappear. So now that I've got kind of a nice little layer down, I'm going to just kind of start blending it in. And just very lightly drag it through, but not too much. Just mostly on this outer edge. Okay. That's pretty much the base of it. Now for the colorful part, I kind of went through 3 colors. It's a little bit hard to tell because they do just kind of start muddling together after a while, but I used a combination of the pink, yellow, and this peachy color. So the pink color is called Hula. The yellow color is called Paradise, and then of course you have this Hawaiian roller coaster. So I'm going to start at the outer part and come in. So I'm going to start with the pink. This is a dry brush. I will say I've used, when I played around with these shadows before, I used them in many different ways. I mean, I don't know if this is the same company that made that Beauty and the Beast book palette. With that one, I found with the shimmer ones, they worked really well with my finger, so I just automatically assumed that this palette would be the same, and quite frankly, it wasn't the case. I mean, they kind of went on a little patchy. They'd be really bold in some areas and clumpy in other areas, and then I tried it with a wet brush, and I don't know if you've ever tried using cheap shadows with a wet brush, but it's almost like it really clumps together, and you get this almost metallic clump in places, and then it goes away in other places, so it doesn't even look good because it's not at least metallic all over. So now I'm going into Hawaiian roller coaster, and I'm going on the center of the lid almost all the way to the inner corner with this. And we're going to kind of go back over and blend these colors together, but I'm more patting and swiping. I'm trying not to brush it. I'm just kind of like patting and then doing a little bit of fluffing at the edges. And then lastly, I'm going into Paradise, which is the yellow color, which is super, super powdery. I mean, I don't even know if you can see all that powder flying off there. And this is going right on the inner part of the eye. Okay. Now we go back through the colors the other way just to kind of make sure everything blends together. So back into Hawaiian Roller Coaster, blending the yellow all the way down, and back into Paradise, really making sure the pink kind of stands out on this outer portion. Okay, and then I want to take my fluffier brush and go back into Hawaiian Roller Coaster again and just very gently run it through the crease to make sure everything is blended and on this outer portion. Then just kind of spot check and make sure, see if they're even. I think they are. It's so hard to tell with these shadows. I'm going to do just a little touch more of the pink color, because I don't know, I feel like that's standing out as much. And then back into the Hawaiian color. Hawaiian Roller Coaster. Okay. Alright. And as you can see, it is like all under my eyes. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I wanted to bring in kind of the purple shades. So what I did was I took this color right here, which is this color right here is Aloha. It's kind of a deep purpley blue. So I started with this one and just focused this on the outer portion of the eye. And I'm not keeping it too close to the lash line. I am kind of going down a little bit, so it's kind of smudgy looking. Then I took this bright purple color, which is Nani, and I kind of went over top of it just to make sure it's a brighter purple tone. And then just that color by itself, I brought across the lash line, almost to the inner corner. Pretty much where the yellow starts above is where I want to leave it blank. And I'm actually going to go back into that yellow Paradise color and just finish out the lower lash. Ooh, that one I did not tap off. See? Powder Central. Alright. And then last but not least, so I said I would use the brush. I try to at least use these brushes, you know, once throughout the video. This one, I'm sorry, but it just sucks. It feels just so cheap and crappy. But I'm gonna use it because I said I would. So I'm just gonna very lightly tap into this lightest color, which is White Sand. It's kind of a yellowish color, but you know, whatever, call it white sand. And I'm gonna put that on the inner corner to brighten it up. Ooh. And then I'm also gonna take just a touch under the brow bone just to brighten that up as well. And then last but not least, I do want to take my pencil brush, go back into Paradise. Now that we've kind of brightened that up a little bit, I'm just gonna add a little bit more of that yellow, more like directly on the inner corner. So I wanted to keep this look very light and fresh. I didn't do any liner on the right side with the exception of just like a tiny thin little strip of liner just to hide the lash band. And I went with a light nude color in my waterline. So I used this Honeydew pencil from ColourPop. So I'm just gonna do that on this side. So that just keeps kind of a nice bright open look. And then I'm just going to take my Lottie London. This is the Wing Woman liner. This one is good if you want to just do a really, really tiny line, because even though it's a felt tip, it's the stiff kind of felt tip. I don't know if that means it's a felt tip then. So I'm just going to do a really thin bit of liner and add some lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look. All I did was add some lashes. I did go ahead and tightline my upper lash line with some black liner just so that the lashes blended in better. And as I mentioned before, I just did the Honeydew nude color in my waterline, and then mascara on top and bottom. For lips, I did a combination of this ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lip in Out of Beach, and I topped it with this Hard Candy all glossed up glossy pencil in Beach Bum, because I just thought the kind of shimmery, shiny look looked really pretty with this look. So yeah, overall, do I think this is one of the best palettes? No, I don't. By far, I think that the Beauty and the Beast palette was so much better than this in terms of quality. You know, that one had its flaws, but I was able to get something really pretty out of it. This one, you know, I will say I had to just work and work and work to try to get something nice, and this wasn't the first time I used it. You know, I tried a couple of different looks using different color combinations previously, and you just end up getting a very washed out, muddy look if you start putting too much on. So, you know, this would be a palette where it'd be great for you just to take this really, really gorgeous blue and just swipe it all over the lid with maybe a matte brown in the crease. Or, you know, same thing like with the pink, green, or purple. Just use it as an accent. Don't try to do a whole look with this palette, and I think you'll be much happier. Again, you know, this is going to be great for your Disney collectors. You know, if you love Disney and you love makeup and you love having these types of things in your collection, then go pick it up. If you just want a pretty eyeshadow palette, you're probably better off getting like a NYX or Wet n Wild palette if you just want something affordable. So that's just my 2 cents. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review and tutorial. I will definitely be keeping my eyes open for more fun, kind of kitschy eyeshadow palettes in the future, because I absolutely love reviewing them, quite honestly, and I like adding things like this to my collection. It is something that I enjoy, so hopefully you enjoy it too. So stay tuned for more fun reviews. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to have that notification bell clicked so that you actually get notified when I do post new videos. Right now I'm posting twice a week, but there might be the occasional 3rd video thrown in there, and if you don't have that bell clicked, you won't know when it pops up. So thank you for watching. Bye guys.